Well guys, it's been a while. By this time, you've probably seen the entire shop already, and future Bao is probably super happy about it, but present day Bao, it's still a mess, and I still have a lot of work to do. At least all the tools are in. I am currently working in the space, trying to, get things picked back up with all the commissions. And however, there is one thing that I've been waiting on, and it did come in today, which are these shop lights. Right now, I'm working off of just my one camera light, which is doing a pretty amazing job lighting up the space, allowing me to work here at night. Honestly, it actually kind of looks pretty good, but I definitely want to bring more light into the space. Now that the packages are here, I can go ahead and install all the lights for the shop. I wanted to do this as a separate video because I feel like there's a lot to cover when it comes to lighting, picking the right light, the color temperature, why is it important, CRI ratings, especially if you're a content creator like myself, why is that a very important factor to think about? So let's go ahead and unbox this thing. All right. Kind of heavy. So this is one of the 4 packages that I received from American Green Lights, and a little bit more on them later. But initially when I was looking for lights on the shop, I didn't really have a lot of budget for it. In the beginning, I thought of just going onto Amazon, buying those cheap lights that you see on Amazon. I think it would have cost me about like 600-ish bucks to light this entire space, which is relatively cheap. It's not that expensive for this size of a space. But with those lights, you can't really tell how bright it is until you actually install it in the space, because you're simply just relying on the information that's provided there. So with the cost saving, there's definitely some downsides, and one of the other factors is CRI. As a content creator, I want to make sure that the lighting in here is perfect so that I don't have to do much post-production, which adds on a lot of work time after recording these videos. And also, because I photograph my own work, I want to make sure that the colors are rendered accurately when I'm in the space. At the end of this, I'll be able to show you a comparison between what was at my old shop, which is the cheap shop lights, versus what we have here, which are these nicer lights here. So after doing a little bit more research, it seems like a lot of people in their shops are using this light here. So I reached out to American Green Lights to get more information about their company, what they do, and specifically their CRI, which is very impressive. It's 95 plus. It's on the higher end of the rating scale, which is very impressive. They recommended a total of 21 lights. They were able to do that because they provide a free service. If you have a 3D model, you can send the model to them. They can simulate what your shop would look like using their lights, and they will also provide a layout of where you should mount your lights to achieve that perfect look. And for me, that was like awesome, because as an architect, that's something that we would have to pay engineers hundreds to thousands of dollars just to do. And here, as a woodworker, I got it for free. I did not get the lights for free, but they did offer me a discount in exchange for this video. And also, they are going to provide you guys a discount, which you can use in the description below if you do want to go with them. So far, working with the team over at American Green Lights, they've been amazing, responsive. And that free service is amazing. The simulation allows me to know whether or not I'm overlighting the space or underlighting it. If I'm overlighting the space, well, I'm just wasting money on lights that I don't really need. And if I'm underlighting the space, probably the videos aren't going to look as good, and nobody likes to work in the dark. So I'm going to go ahead and unbox these and take a look at what we got so far. It looks pretty simple. It doesn't look too complicated. I think I can actually get this thing done. You're gonna need to know a little bit about wiring, but it doesn't look too complicated. And I like the fact that everything is already nicely packaged together. Some of the cables are already connected. And all I have to worry about is the cable that connects to my hot and my neutral, as well as the ground. And then there's already a connector that connects to the actual lights itself, which is this thing right here. So pretty much it's a pretty simple install. I just need to connect this thing to the ceiling, and then it seems like this plops on just like that. If you notice in the back there, my ceiling isn't flat. I did talk to them about the ceiling condition here, And they were able to run 2 simulations for me. One where I am adding a angle block piece to the structure and mounting this directly to that so that the lights are pointed vertically instead of going along the slope. They also ran another simulation where the lights are going along that slope, and I kind of want to make this as easy as possible. So I think that's the route I'm going to take. But I'm going to show you the simulations that they ran for me. This is the second layout they did. The first one, the lights were actually going along the length of the building. Not only do they give you the actual layout, they also show you the foot candle readings of the entire space. You're able to see exactly how the light falls on the surface that you're working with. And it's important to understand foot candles because you want to make sure that your surface is properly lit, especially on your work surfaces when you're doing hand tool work or maybe you're finishing. You want to make sure that there's enough light for you to actually see what you're doing. Having something like this is great because when you're reading the specs on a light, it only gives you the lumens, which is the output of lighting from the light source. Just because I'm getting 400 or 500 lumens, 1,000 lumens from a light, it doesn't necessarily mean that the surface that I'm working on will receive all that light. With this graphic here, I'm able to tell exactly what the lighting looks like. This is the layout that I'm going to go with, so let's go ahead and get all these lights installed.
I started out by cutting away some of the spray foam attached to the metal structure. This way the lights will sit flat. I didn't want the installers to remove all the foam along the structure, which is typically what they would do to clean things up, but I wanted to remove only areas as needed to keep as much of the foam on the structure as possible. It definitely is a dusty mess, so I made sure to grab the respirator. The reciprocating saw did the job just fine, but after a while it got a bit heavy, so I went with the multi-tool with a wide blade to finish the job. It definitely created a lot less dust as well. Overall, the install was very simple. You simply attach the main body with 2 screws and then the lights connect to the body. However, I'm very scared of heights, so walking across the scaffold and trying to maintain my balance was definitely a little freaky. But either way, the job had to get done. Installing the lights on the slope was pretty easy. I didn't have to modify anything other than remove the foam. However, for the lights running down the center of the shop, I used a piece of 2x and spanned it across one of the roof brace to the other. I then attached them with screws going from below the metal brace into the wood. This should hold the lights perfectly fine because the lights aren't that heavy. It also gives me areas to secure the metal cables later on. With all of the body portions of the lights attached, I can start wiring things together. For this, I'm using these Wago, whichever it is. These are connectors that are going to simplify the wiring process. Leave a comment down below if you ever use these and whether you had any long-term issues with them, since this is my first time using them. They make connecting the wires together super simple by simply just pushing each line into the connector and then closing down the flap to snap the lines in place. I'll install one light first just to make sure there's actually power coming into this light. If there's any issue, then troubleshooting it now will be much simpler. These lights are set on a 3-way switch, so I have one switch next to the overhead door and then the other switch is next to my smaller pedestrian door. So power comes from the panel to the first switch and then the second switch. From the second switch, a common neutral and ground line is sent to each light in the series. This is probably the simplest method that I've found to wire everything up. If you're not comfortable with it, definitely get somebody to do this for you. Now that I know I do have power coming to the first light, I can continue the rest of the way by connecting all of the lights together, feeding my common, my neutral, and my ground line to each of the lights. And that is pretty much it, guys.
All right, guys, so here's the moment of truth. Let's see if I got all the wirings correct. All right, 3, 2, 1. Oh, yes, it looks amazing. Oh my goodness. It is bright up in here. Like, this is like first time reaction, guys. I'm sorry, I'm speechless. But like you could barely see any shadow. That's how perfectly lit it is. That's amazing. So all I have to do now is just clean up the wires a little bit because it looks kind of messy up there. Yeah, but this is amazing.
When it came to comparing the lights, I was blown away at what I saw. I'll leave the camera settings down in the caption below, but everything was straight out of camera, and the only editing that I needed to do was add a LUT. That's because I shoot in log. You can tell just how big of a difference there is in my skin tone. Even though the old lights were also 5000 Kelvin, I always had this major issue with trying to correct for my skin tone. The other test I wanted to run was on the flicker effect. For this test, I darkened the shadows at equal amounts to exaggerate the effect a bit. With the old lights, you could definitely tell at about 3/20th of a second shutter speed, while the new lights I had to adjust my shutter speed up to 2,000th of a second before I noticed the flicker effect set in, and it's surprisingly barely noticeable. This won't be an issue for videos if I set my shutter speed to double the frame rate. However, it is going to be an issue with photography in the space at higher shutter speeds. With these new lights, it's practically perfect.
All right, so there it is. The lights are in and I am super happy. It's been about a month and a half. I wanted to just give a little bit of time being in the space before I do the ending of this video, because I wanted to give you guys my honest opinion on it. And so far, it's been great. Comparing from the old cheap lights that I have in the old shop and what I have now, it's a world of a difference when I'm working in the space. It's much more comfortable to the eyes. One thing that I didn't get a chance to cover in the video is glare, and I think right now you can definitely see a good example of that. Outside, we have the sunlight blasting through that overhead door there, and what you notice is there isn't a huge difference in the exposure. Glare happens when there's uneven lighting. So let's say you have a window that you're working at and inside you have a very dimly lit space. You're gonna have a lot of glare there because there is a difference in contrast. That's going to cause a lot of straining in your eyes. In terms of overall health for your eyes, it's not very good. In terms of costs, that's gonna be very relative to your budget and what you're willing to invest. These are gonna be a little bit more fancier lights compared to what you can buy at the big box store or online through Amazon. But for me, it's worth it. Comparing from what I had in the previous shop to now, it's a world of a difference, and you honestly can't really compare the two. They're just in two different ballparks. If you're going to build a shop for yourself, or if you're thinking long-term, I definitely would recommend you upgrading the lights and at least investing in that area. It's not as exciting as buying cool tools and stuff like that, but trust me, working in a space that's well lit is going to give you a different experience. As you can see, this shop is up and running. It's been up and running for a few months now. If you didn't check out the full video, click on this video over here. And if you want to see more woodworking projects, click on this one over here. Till next time, this is Bao with Design Craft Workshop. See ya.